Hi, my amazing planner friends. It's Jess from my magical planner. And today I'm going to be planning out the week of February 6th through the 12th in my Aura Estelle Planner with my Harriet Wright Designs inserts. I'm going to be using this kit from Sadie Stickers. This was, I think, her first mystery kit. So it was January of 2022. And I did let you guys pick this. If you follow me over on Instagram, I've started posting weekly, usually it's earlier than this week. This week I posted it on Monday and let you guys vote on what kit you wanted to see me use. This is the one that won this week. So we're going to be going ahead and using this, which is a lot of fun. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and get started and I'll meet you guys in the voiceover. So I think the biggest advantage of using this particular planner is the ability to pull out these pages to do my planning. So I don't have to worry about the planner itself and I can kind of have that flat surface underneath. And so I'm not worrying about bumpiness or anything like that. All right, so the first thing I wanted to do was my date headers across the top, and I wasn't really sure how I wanted to work with these. I knew I wanted to do some deco at the top, and I found these arches. These are from the Pretty Pinko. I've had these well over a year, but I only had 3 of them. So what I decided to do was I was going to lay down my day headers and then I was just going to see what I could do with them and I'd fill in the rest with florals and stuff. I really liked the look of this where it's overlapping and kind of leading into that side column and kind of draws your eye over there. It was kind of big though, so I decided to kind of cut these down in various different ways. First, I just cut off the first little notch because they were kind of scalloped. So it was easy to line up and make sure I was straight. So I just cut that top part off and I was like, oh, it'll just look like it's behind the day headers. Then I'm adding in my date dots. These are from Meg B Makes. She's just a small shop on Etsy. And I just really like the way that her dots look. I think she was the first person that I found that had the matte paper. And then I'm just going through and adding some different florals. Now, since it's an older kit, her florals have changed quite a bit. And the nature of the flowers in this kit were a little harder for me to work with, but it just had me thinking outside the box. On the second half of the week, I knew I wanted another one of those big arches. And originally I was going to put it down and layer the headers on top, but I realized how much of the arch was going to disappear. So instead I put the days down and then layered that on top. And I think that worked really well. In an ideal world, I think I would have cut down more to that size, but realizing how few of them I had, I wanted to stretch it as far as possible. So this is me cutting it down again like I did the first one and going, okay, where can I put this? And I decided to cut it down a second time. Not only does this give me a slightly different look, so it's not so uniformed, but it also allows me to spread that a little bit further. Originally, I was going to do another one of those kind of faux arches, but realized that the florals I had already put down were kind of in the way, so I just added half of one. But this really shows you how far you can stretch just a few stickers and how many different looks you can get from just one simple arch. I mean, I could have done a million different things with this. So I'm just adding in a little floral, adding in a little color. There were a couple of like darker, they're almost bluish black flowers, and I wanted to make sure I included at least one of those in the top, and some of the arrangements have them as well. So I'm pulling in that darker color to the top so it's not just so light up there, which was really nice. Also, cutting down some of the florals made them fit better into the spaces and also expands how far you can make those stickers stretch. So it was a little challenging actually getting everything to work together. Am I 100% happy with the top? No. I don't know that anyone ever is, but I was content with the overall look and feel of the design. I think sometimes we get stuck in it has to be perfect, but it really doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be a learning experience, at least for me. I'm learning different ways I can use these stickers and different ways that I can decorate up here and just having fun with it. And if it doesn't look perfect, that's fine. So now I'm moving on to my sidebar. I did decide I wanted to kind of replicate that scalloped shape. So I pulled in one of the half circles from the kit, overlaid a February script that's from Letters to Apollo. Then I added in a floral at the top to just kind of make that feel more complete because it kind of feels more like a line across that way. And then I'm trying to decide on what I want to do in the column. I pulled out all of my matte gold stickers because I have very few of those. And that is the foil that was used on this kit because it is quite a bit older. So after kind of playing around, I decided I didn't want to use any of the headers I had, and I'm just going to see what I can do with the kit. I pulled in that vase that was part of the deco from the kit, and then I'm putting one of the swatches underneath of it. This is going to be kind of my header area for whatever I want to put there, and I decided to use that for my menu plan. Normally I would have that something that would be more related to my menu and cooking, but I really liked the way this looked. The script is from Paper Trail Plans, and they are currently doing their custom scripts right now. I highly recommend them. Below that I put my Monday through Sunday. That's where I'm going to put all my meals for the week so that I can pretend to be organized. Then I wanted to use the torn paper elements. I really liked them, and I pulled in this girl from Paper Doll Co. I love, love, love her dolls. I'm not affiliated with either one of these shops. I just really like their stickers, and her dolls are amazing. They're my favorite. So she always has something that I feel fits with what I'm going for my theme, and I wanted something a little bit sophisticated, and I felt like this is what she brought in. And then I went ahead and put down my bottom washi because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in that space between the doll and my menu plan. So I figured this would give me time to think. So I'm just putting down the bigger washi at the bottom, and then I took a little trim that's just a little scallop that I also got from Sadie Stickers, and I'm putting that along the top to kind of give it that finished edge. The hardest thing for me about putting these down is actually because I want to make as much room in that column as possible. I'm trying to line it up with the bottom of the paper opposed to a line. So sometimes I'm not exactly straight and I have to pull it back up, and sometimes I decide, well, it's straight enough because I don't know about you, but I can never get things absolutely perfect. So going back to that side column now, I'm like, okay, what can I do here? And I'm like, well, maybe I can pull in this scallop, but I really don't like scallops. I think that's really what it is, because every time I pull one in, I'm like, no. So then I pulled in this decorative box. I think this could have worked, honestly, but I wanted something to balance out that girl, and I felt like I wasn't getting that. And I would have to do a lot of work to get it this way, and so I'm kind of thinking about things that I'm like, oh, I have another torn piece of paper. Let me put it in here. And I liked that a lot better. And then I added a box on top. Sorry, the camera died. So I added a box on top, and I also ended up adding one at the bottom. And then I took one of the floral little dividers, headers, and I cut it down and made it as a little swatch above that to just add a little bit more contrast. Now on Monday, I knew that I wanted to try going for a walk. I'm just doing this on my elliptical. It's not a huge walk. We're talking like 10 minutes. So I just overlaid that on the page flag because there's only 2 of those page flags. I decided I didn't want both of them in the beginning of the week. So I put one at the beginning of the week and one on Friday because I was going to try and do every other day. I'll tell you why that didn't work out in a minute. Because, oh my gosh. So what happened is I went to go on a walk on my elliptical. I'm like, oh, I'm doing it. Yay me, right? And then my elliptical kind of sort of fell apart. Like the pad that you stand on just kind of came off. So we had to fix that this week. So I got in one 10-minute walk almost, but not the other ones. It was a good plan though. I also marked that I needed to go grocery shopping on this day. So I pull in a grocery bag from White Deer Stationery, and I put some florals behind it just to add some space. And that's for me picking up my groceries. Dan had jazz band practice on Monday as well, so I'm going ahead and using one of the staffs to mark that. I love her staffs. I actually think I would like a whole page of just the staffs without the notes because I love them so much. Then I needed to mark Megan's practice, so I'm using one of the pre-made boxes here to do that, and decided to just use the florals like I would any other florals and kind of laid it on the lower portion. I could have left it without the skates, but I like it with. So that's marking her practice, and then I also needed to mark Ethan work, and then I also wanted to mark that I needed to go to bed early. I've been really run down lately. I'm just having a lot of problems with my energy level, which is why the videos haven't been coming out as frequently as I would like. So that was Monday. Tuesday, I now have cleaning people who come in to help me, which has been a godsend. I am so grateful to them and all that they do. I know it's a hard job, and I respect them immensely for helping me be able to do the things I can't. I used a white deer stationery little caddy to do that, and then I overlaid 2 circles to kind of fill in the other things I needed to do this day, which ended up being some errands I needed to do. I needed to go pick up meds. I had to take my glasses, which had accidentally been, I got brand new glasses, had them for a week, and someone stepped on them. So I took them back to have them try and fix them. I don't know if that's going to work. We'll see. But besides that, I marked lower, like after my decorative box, I'm going to be marking that I needed to, we have like this little Spark. They're like the tiniest cars ever, and it's a stick shift. So we're teaching our 16-year-old how to drive on it. And his first day out driving in this new little car, and he hit a deer. So we had to take the Spark to go get it situated, like figure out what do we need to do. It's like $5,000 worth of damage. So I've decided every time you hit a deer, it's $5,000 worth of damage. And it's just a thing. But I also was marking, my husband really wanted pie, so we made pie this evening, which is what I used that bottom box on Tuesday for. Wednesday, I had my usual therapy appointment, so I marked that with a white deer stationery little chase, and then I overlaid the 2 square boxes and just let that be the deco of that box. Below that, I did mark that we needed to go back and pick up the Spark after they'd done all of their evaluations, ordered the parts they need, whatever. So, and it was then that I decided I wanted to add that little bug, which I love those little bug car stickers. I think they're adorable. Those are from White Deer Stationery as well. So, and then at the end of Wednesday, I needed to mark that Daniel has his trombone lesson. This is a weekly thing for him. It's just someone else to give him feedback on his playing. And I realized I forgot Megan's practice, so I had to find a box, and I just overlaid a darker box on my decorative box so that I could mark her practice. And then I filled in the top where I had some extra room with that arch box so that I could put in editing for YouTube, which kind of happened. We got at least one video up this week, guys. So anyhow, on Thursday, I'm going through and marking the things that are set scheduled items first. So I'm marking Emily's therapy, which again, I used the 2 square boxes and that White Deer stationery little armchair with the bubble for her therapy sticker and put some florals down there at the bottom. I really would like the way that that tends to look. And then I'm marking Megan's practice at the bottom. This time I'm having the stickers opposite the floral that was on the box to kind of balance each other out. And in theory, I was going to take Dan driving this night. He ended up having to work, so that didn't happen. At the top, I just put some florals in, and then I'm putting a swatch underneath the top of those florals. And then I'm also using one of the more decorative midi boxes there as well, so that I could mark doing laundry this day. And then the swatch was just for anything else that came up. On Friday, after the walk that didn't happen, I marked film plan with me, which was just, I had a box, I added some floral to it, and then I'll come back in with an icon from White Deer Stationery for that one. And then Megan also had therapy this day, so I needed to mark that. And I was out of square boxes, so I had to do something different. And just, again, I'm positioning that armchair to be opposite the florals that are on the box to balance each other out. And I just added a little bit of extra floral below the chair to kind of bring it all together a little bit more. This is me going through my scripts going, oh yeah, I have scripts for things. I should use them. I actually need to order a bunch more, but these are therapy stickers from Harriet Wright Designs. So I'm just going ahead and putting those on all of the different therapies that we have this week. And I really like the way that that script looked with this particular kit. And I'm adding in some practice scripts. These are from Letters to Apollo. I am not one of those people who thinks all the scripts have to match. I know a lot of people are. I like it when they do, but when they don't, it's not a huge deal to me because my writing can change from column to column. Sometimes I print, sometimes I'm cursive. I tend to flow back and forth between the two without even realizing I do it. So I think because of that, it doesn't bother me. The next thing I really needed to mark was Clarkston Farm, which is this Amazon series, was coming out with season 2. It's a big hit with my family. So season 2 was supposed to come out on Friday. So I wanted to make sure I was marking it on the calendars so that I can make sure that we were making space to watch that and make it a priority, so to speak. However, I didn't like my original plan. I looked at it after I put it down and was like, no, thank you. So I went back and I pulled those up. I'm putting down a swatch now to mark that without an icon. I think it looks really cute. I also think it kind of goes with the farm mentality or look, I guess. So I really like the way that that box turned out. Below that, I do have a bigger box. I end up moving that up to make room for a third box because I needed to do a college check-in with Ethan and make sure we were making progress there. I also wanted to mark that I wanted to have a bath this night because that's really important. It just really helps with the inflammation problems that I have. So, all right, so my camera died and I didn't realize it. So this is the end product. It turned out pretty well. If you have any questions about this last portion, feel free, or any of this portion, feel free to let me know down below. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And until next time, I'll see you guys real soon.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed.